Right now, on to the point. A bill just killed that could have saved you money on your PG&E bills. Tonight, what lawmakers tell ABC 10 they're doing to address ratepayers' bottom line. Plus, 5 people arrested after a teen was shot and killed in front of his home. The new details in the investigation.
These bunches of grapes aren't on the vine and won't be in your next glass, so why are they on the ground? We'll explain coming up.
And later, hydrogen power in California, the new hub that could help advance the state's energy goals. Good evening. Thank you so much for ending your week with us. On to the point. I'm Alex Bell, and we're just 24 hours away from the end of the legislative session, and lawmakers still have more than 100 bills to discuss. This is a live look at the state capitol tonight. Lawmakers are expected to be at work again tomorrow and late into the evening, making some final changes to those bills. Tonight, we are following one bill that could have given PG&E customers a one-time credit, but the bill was scrapped this afternoon. ABC 10's Becca Hobbecker joins us in studio tonight to explain exactly why.
That's right, Alex. You know, lawmakers say they are acutely aware that so many Californians are facing unsustainably high energy bills. A proposed legislation that was pulled today would have put $30 to $70 back in PG&E customers' pocket in the form of a one-time credit. Not much, some say, but now that's not even happening. So I asked, what are lawmakers doing about energy affordability?
Too many California families are at a breaking point.
Democratic Assemblymember Cory Petrie-Norris is the author of 2 bills focused on energy affordability. One of them, AB 3121, introduced Wednesday night, she withdrew Friday after the bill received pushback from a number of groups. It would have given PG&E, SoCal Edison, and San Diego Gas and Electric customers a one-time credit on their bill next year, reportedly $30 to $70, according to Cal Matters. But that money would have been pulled from 2 pools of cash, one that provides heating, air conditioning, and plumbing upgrades to schools, and another that offers incentives for installing solar panels and rebates for energy storage. Some worried the program cuts would hurt low-income Californians and children just for a relatively small one-time credit for ratepayers.
While we're happy that the legislature and the governor are working together to actually do something about California's real energy affordability crisis, we're concerned that this proposal doesn't actually get at the root of the problem.
Petrie-Norris says she'll keep looking for solutions, just not this session.
We're going to continue to take a look at that either as part of a special session on energy affordability or in the new year.
Her other bill, AB 3264, passed unanimously out of the Senate Committee on Energy, Utilities, and Communications. It would, among other things, require state energy regulators to submit a study to lawmakers on options to reduce costs on ratepayers as the state expands its electrical transmission infrastructure.
My goal with this bill is that we come out with actionable insights that in next legislative session we are able to provide real savings to California customers.
One of my biggest, I would say, sadness is that I know we're talking about something that's not going to bring immediate relief to ratepayers.
Senators supported her bill, but also spoke about the need for lawmakers to do more.
We have to look at the policies that are passed because they're driving up the cost of electricity in California.
There are Californians, a significant number, who are unable to pay even the most minimal bills for electricity and other utilities.
The major reason why businesses are leaving California is not because of all those other factors, but they say uncertainty on their energy costs.
Her bill, AB 3264, will go before the Senate early Saturday evening.
We asked PG&E what they're doing to make bills more affordable. A spokesperson told us in part, we are taking actions to limit annual increases to no more than 3% through 2026 without sacrificing safety. We've adopted company-wide savings initiatives to reduce our operating costs and limit unnecessary expenses. We're also here to help our customers save energy and money and offer bill assistance programs to income-eligible customers.
And the bill that was pulled was part of a larger package of clean energy bills. They would address things like fire mitigation and wind energy. And as for oil regulation, tonight lawmakers rejected a proposal affecting gas prices. And it comes after talks that Governor Gavin Newsom could call a special session to address these issues. So the governor introduced his plan this week as Senate Bill 950. It would require refiners to withhold fuel inventory from the market, but several lawmakers, both Democrat and Republican, feared it could have upended the industry and cost consumers at the pump. So we did reach out to the governor's office again today about the possibility of a special session. They responded in a statement saying, in part, quote, the governor and legislature have been working together on this proposal for months. In fact, the first policy recommendation from the Division of Petroleum Market Oversight was shared with the legislature in January. Now, whether it's during this legislative session or in a special session, the governor remains focused on the ultimate goal, lowering costs for Californians. While the Speaker of the California Assembly has signaled that he is open to reconvening later this year if needed, the Senate Pro Tem president released a statement on Thursday saying that they will not support convening a special session. You can read their full statements and more on the bills that are being considered right now in the legislature on our website, abc10.com. In other news tonight, take a look at this. A brazen burglary caught on camera. Two people were seen kicking in the safe of Sushi in downtown Sacramento. They were then seen running out of the restaurant without covering their faces. The owner says that they lost thousands of dollars. And Sacramento police are working to figure out who these people are. Anyone with information should give them a call. The man accused of killing his mother in Galt made his first court appearance today. 29-year-old John Martinez was arrested Wednesday night after an hours-long standoff. According to the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office, Martinez allegedly hit his mom with a shovel and ran her over with his car. He is charged with murder. Martinez is expected back in court on September 16th. Tonight, Sacramento police have arrested 5 people in connection to the homicide of 18-year-old Danny Partridge, and he was killed 2 months ago near his Upper Land Park home. ABC 10's Roxanne Elias has spent the day speaking with neighbors in the area, and tonight she joins us with new details in the case.
Alex, Danny's family says it was an emotional day after learning of the arrest, so they politely declined to comment today. But other neighbors here say this is another step closer to justice. Tamara Beverly still remembers the day her 18-year-old neighbor, Danny Partridge, was shot and killed outside his home here at the Marina Vista housing units on 5th Street. The shooting on June 23rd startled the grandmother as shots rang out and she ran into another bedroom to protect her grandchildren. On Friday, we told her Sacramento police had arrested 7 men 2 days ago in connection to the homicide. 2 19-year-olds, 2 18-year-olds, a 17-year-old, and 2 others. 5 are facing homicide charges, another a parole violation, and another an outstanding warrant and firearms-related charges. Police say they understand Partridge's family and his neighbors are hurting, and they also want to see people held accountable.
Right now, it's good that we're getting looked at and getting help because these are very good apartments. I'll tell anybody, they're very good apartments. It's just what goes on after the lights goes out. So that's the scary part, when you're thinking you're safe in your home in bed and you're not.
Sacramento police say this is still an ongoing investigation, and they're asking anyone out there who may have any other information to come forward. In Sacramento, Roxanne Elias, ABC 10.
Still ahead on To the Point, why farmers in San Joaquin County are letting hundreds of wine grapes go unused.
It's Friday Night Lights, and we're seeing St. Mary's kicking it off at Central Catholic. 89 degrees, halftime 75. We'll talk more about the temperatures for your Labor Day weekend ahead.
Later on the back roads, how a steam machine helped build California and how you could get a chance to operate it. All right, it's almost the end of the month. We've seen some really warm temperatures. Let's get over to meteorologist Carly Gomez with a look at our holiday forecast.
Yeah, we're really warm today. We're going to be warm again tomorrow, unfortunately. But for the weekend into your Sunday, Monday, we'll see a cool down. Take a look at the month of August. We have seen 18 days above average. The average 93 degrees or so for this time of year. We have now averaged about 94.7. But just take a look at the below average days. We were sitting in even some 70s from the 23rd and 24th. 4th there as we got that nice cool air coming in, as well as that storm system we usually don't typically see in August, but that did help keep that number, that average to date down. Well, we've only seen 9 days below average, but a lot of days in that heat, 18. So we do expect one more day in the mid 90s for your Saturday before we kick off September. Yep, your Labor Day starting off the month there on Sunday. We're going to start seeing temperatures back into the low 90s to upper 80s on Labor Day. That's Monday. Warm start to the weekend. The cooling does start off on that Sunday, but another big heat up is on the way with triple digits expected to begin even as early as Tuesday. We could be in the upper 90s to triple digits by Wednesday and Thursday, as well as potentially Friday. High pressure over the western U.S., but we are tracking those lows just out to sea. That trough will keep us cool as we move from Sunday to Monday. Luckily, we aren't picking up on any really strong wind gusts, but we'll see a little bit of that delta breeze continuing with mostly clear skies. As we get that trough, that's going to bring us some cooler temperatures Sunday to Monday as mentioned, but take a look at the ridge that builds in right after that way up there into the Pacific Northwest. We'll start heating up by Wednesday with triple digits expected. And for your Labor Day, yeah, we're going to be looking there at our temperatures for Labor Day right around those upper 80s, 78 degrees at lunchtime. And then that 10-day forecast, well, that does give us temperatures in the low 90s to upper 80s, triple digits into next week.
Next on To The Point, why vineyards could look a little different this weekend. And California launches a hydrogen hub where it's located and how it'll help the state reach its energy goals. Plus, stepping down, why a local mayor is resigning and leaving California. The weekend is here and we are in the middle of grape harvest season. And for many people, it means it's time to go wine tasting. But some vineyards might look a little bit different. Tonight, ABC 10's Gabriel Porras explains.
Saturdays are our biggest traffic days, really.
Lane Montgomery isn't just getting ready to see more wine tasters stroll through a San Joaquin County vineyard.
There's a lot of exciting, innovative things going on.
But he's also getting ready to answer a question that's become common lately.
You know, they think we're being wasteful or something's wrong.
Because instead of ending up in a bottle, hundreds of bunches of grapes are left on the ground this season.
It's a move to improve the quality of the wine we make and sell. This vineyard's only 10 years old, and when vines are young, they tend to produce a lot. So our vineyard manager and his team come through and they drop the excess fruit so that the remaining grapes will ripen up properly.
Even if growers bottled up these bunches instead of letting them fall on the ground, industry leaders say selling that wine would pose another challenge.
There's a global oversupply of wine, and it really started to drive home last harvest when a lot of grapes didn't get picked. You know, it's a really challenging situation. The large grape buyers, you know, have continued to import millions of gallons of wine from overseas.
Farmers can't compete on price.
But there is one thing they can do.
You know, the best we can do is, you know, ask our customers, ask our community members to support local farms, support local wineries, go into the grocery store and ask for local and tell them to send that foreign stuff back overseas.
This Zinfandel block, there's probably 9 tons of grapes out there, and I don't necessarily need all of them. So come and eat some grapes.
In San Joaquin County, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
All right. Industry leaders say that other vineyards are seeing a drop in yields this year due to the summer's high heat. They are hoping that the natural decrease in production could improve the market. The future of Hotel Marysville will soon be decided. A fire destroyed the 100-year-old 5-story building back in June. Since then, there's been disagreements over what to do with the remains. A hearing is scheduled for next Friday, September 6th at 9 a.m. at City Hall. The hearing is open to the public. The city of Citrus Heights will need to choose a new mayor after its current one announced that he is stepping down. Mayor Brett Daniels announced that he's leaving his elected role tomorrow, August 31st. Daniels says that he and his family will also be leaving the state and heading to Kentucky. He says his 7-year-old daughter was the biggest reason why the family made the decision. He blames the environment created by state lawmakers.
For me, it's mainly in the legislature and the deterioration of parental rights, what's going on in schools, and just things like that. You know, the value of your money, your dollar, just that combination of things that just has created a burden.
Daniel served 14 years on the Citrus Heights City Council. He had just 3 months left on his term. Council members are expected to decide their next steps on filling the vacancy at their next meeting on September 11th. Today, Governor Gavin Newsom, along with the Department of Energy and other state leaders, came together to celebrate a multi-billion-dollar agreement to build and expand the state's green technology infrastructure. The project, called the Arches Hydrogen Hub, aims to establish renewable and clean hydrogen and create an estimated 200,000 jobs in the state.
Diesel is responsible for 43% of air pollutants and climate change gases in California. So we need to make sure that we reduce those emissions, and this is a direct contributor to taking diesel off the road.
The hydrogen hub at the Port of Oakland is just one of 7 across the U.S. The Port of Oakland already operates 30 hydrogen fuel trucks, and all of this is part of California's larger goal to become carbon neutral by 2045. You never know what you'll see on the back roads. Tonight, John Bartel taking us to Mendocino County to learn how to operate an antique steam shovel.
At the gateway of Mendocino County's redwood forest, it's not uncommon to see a plume of steam rising high above the Roots of Motive Power Museum in Willits. It's one of the few museums that puts visitors in the operator's seat and teaches them how to run antique machines.
There looks like a lot of levers and pulleys here and pedals.
Yeah. If you've heard the term, they don't make them like they used to, it's usually a compliment to the tough and thought-out engineering of the past.
Breakout. You got to keep that crowd in. I know there's a lot to do.
I got you now.
But when you're talking about a 1930s era steam shovel, I would say they shouldn't make them like they used to, because operating one of these things is probably the hardest thing I've done.
I'll let it go. Now you can let go on the brake.
73-year-old Ken McCreary and 19-year-old Ed Kimball are the museum's steam shovel instructors. It takes 2 instructors because it takes at least 2 people to operate this 1932 Bucyrus Erie 50B.
It is warm in here.
Yeah, and this is kind of a cool day.
Okay.
Ken and Ed take turns in the steam shovel's 100-plus degree boiler room, while the other one runs the shovel outside. Both jobs, though, have their positives and negatives.
It's a very dusty job.
Steam shovels date back to the 1830s, and they revolutionized construction. They were crucial when digging the Panama Canal, and they also helped build California's levees and bridges.
This particular machine built Treasure Island. Really?
Treasure Island in the San Francisco Bay is a man-made island built for the 1939 World's Fair.
400 acres of kaleidoscopic color.
Steam shovels like the one I was operating today helped move and shape the 400-acre island into what it is today.
As far as I know, this is the only one in California and pretty much the only one in the western U.S.
That's good.
One reason there is so few steam shovels left around today is because they're an absolute nightmare to move around.
How do you turn this thing?
Well, you disengage a track, you stick some blocks of wood in, and you go forward.
Wait, so there's no steering wheel?
No.
The best that I can explain the steering situation on this thing is that the chunks of wood act as a wedge of sorts. When one track stops, the other track scoots the steam shovel left or right. The process is so slow, a turtle can move faster.
This is honestly the most archaic way to turn something.
By the end of the 1930s, diesel power shovels replaced the steam shovels. The museum has one of those too, and it's a little easier to operate.
There you go. Now let it down with your foot. Put the brake. Pretty easy, right?
Kind of, yeah.
By the 1960s, modern-day hydraulic excavators started replacing all the cable-driven shovels. Many ended up in the scrapyard, but in the 1980s, the Roots of Motive Power Museum started collecting steam engines, locomotives, and antique heavy equipments of all kind.
Well, to remember the ingenuity of the old days, I guess, and how they did it back then, and
how things are different now.
Well, they definitely don't make them like they used to. And just because I can't drive a 1930s era steam shovel doesn't mean a younger generation can't learn about the machines with a little practice.
When did you start learning how to run this? This machine, I think I was about 16.
16?
Yeah.
You were learning to drive a car and then you're learning to drive a steam shovel.
Well, no, I learned how to drive a car when I was 9.
Oh, yeah. All right.
With my grandpa, of course.
From Roots of Motive Power in Willits, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads.
And if you want a chance to operate antique machines, the Roots of Motive Power Museum will be holding their annual Steam Festival on September 7th and 8th. It is free and open to the public. Stay with us. We're back after this break. Before we go, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, the Chalk It Up Festival is taking place in Midtown. This event allows local artists to bring their creativity to the streets around Fremont Park. And the event runs tomorrow through Monday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And get this, admission is free, so everybody can go out and enjoy the day. And as always, thank you so much for spending part of your day with us. If you have something that you think we should be looking into, make sure to reach out to me and the team. And remember, strangers are just people we haven't gotten the chance to meet yet. Take the time to get to know someone. I'll see you later. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.